Welcome to another episode of Beers with Andy. I'm your host, Andy, and we're gonna have some beer. This week, I feel like last week we did a local Ann Arbor brewer, and prior to that, I'd done like 5 episodes of just shorts. I am a big shorts fan, but there's a lot more beer in Michigan than shorts. I just happen to have had a run of beers that I wanted to try, and I was at the store. Feels like it was middle of last week, and saw some new stuff, picked it up. For example, today's beer is from Dark Horse Brewing out of Marshall, Michigan. This beer is called Smells Like a Safety Meeting. It's an IPA. I've had one other time, at least according to Untapped. And this was when I actually went to Dark Horse Brewing in Marshall. Back when I was a teacher, I had an interview, an unsuccessful interview, as they all were. And on my way back, I decided to pop by Dark Horse and check it out. I do like to visit breweries, when I can, and it was a pretty cool brewery. It was very modest, real low key, kind of a locals place. And I had this beer. I don't recall if I had more than one beer. I probably did because I tend to have more than one. But I had this, and so when I saw it in the store, I'm like, "Ooh, let's try that." If you don't know Dark Horse Brewing, they're I don't know exactly how to describe them. I feel like everybody that works there, or at least all the brewers, look like burly dudes with beards, which is not unusual for breweries, but in particular, they all look like guys that are in like the drive-by truckers, or I don't know. It just looks like I thought, boy, like, am I going to be okay in this brewery? Because I'm not a manly man, and this place is full of manly men, but had a good lunch and enjoyed this beer. So let's try it out because I haven't had it in a long time. This would be 2 years ago, probably right around this summer, that I went on that interview and had that beer. So look at that right off the... My God. See, now the reason why they call it this, I don't get the reference totally. I mean, Smells Like Teen Spirit, is it a reference to that? Maybe. But I don't know what a safety meeting is or what it smells like. However, the thing about this is it's a really aromatic beer, really fragrant. I smelled it as soon as I popped it. It's an 8.5% beer, so I've been kind of eager to have something that's a little bit stronger lately. Like, I could really go for a 12%. I think we could all go for a 12% beer right now, to be honest. But as you know, I've become quite a big pothead during the pandemic, and so I'm not drinking much. I'll have a beer, maybe 2. I usually regret having the second one, though. 1 beer is plenty for me these days because the pot's doing all the heavy lifting. But I do enjoy it, and quite frankly, you know how when you're high, you like to eat. Well, also like to have a nice beer, particularly if it's a good one. I've really been enjoying the Shorts Anniversary Ale that I did a couple weeks back. But even though it's a limited thing, it's not going to be around forever. I don't want to just drink nothing but that this summer, even though, frankly, I could have really come to love that one. And I'm not, I hope that they keep it around and bring it back every once in a while, because you'll recall it had 16 different hops, and boy, it's complex and interesting. And you put that in your mouth, and boy, it's an experience. So this one smells like it's going to be an experience too. I haven't had this in 2 years. I should also mention they have a beer called Crooked Tree. That's their flagship IPA. It's probably my 3rd favorite Michigan IPA, which I know sounds like faint praise, but I mean, 3rd place is pretty good. When you're behind Humalupalicious and Two Hearted, that's good company. So and they have a double Crooked Tree that there's your 12% beer right there. I believe that's a 12%er. That will do some damage to you, and I've done some damage to myself with that one. That's kind of one where you drink 2 and you're probably drunk, because 12% is pretty hefty. So without further ado, let's taste Smells Like a Safety Meeting from Dark Horse Brewing. Yeah, fuck, that's delicious. And it kind of goes to what I've said about breweries before. it tastes not dissimilar from Crooked Tree, which I'm sure the brewers would say, no, we're using this different hop and it's totally different. Just like when I say that about Holmes, I feel like Holmes tastes all the same. And they're like, no. Well, this tastes a lot like Crooked Tree to me. And I mean that in a good way. I'd love to have the two of them side to side. That's maybe an idea for a video at some point. Might be interesting to taste test, maybe blind taste test. Ooh, I'm coming up with ideas on the fly here. But damn, that's a fragrant beer. 48 IBU, by the way. That's not a huge number, is it? Yeah, that's delicious. It's a lot. It's heavy. It's very bitter. It's hoppy. It's, not one of these New England IPAs. Definitely, it's more of an American style. So it tastes like beer, as I like to say. By the way, look at me just chugging this 8.5% beer. It's not like I just went and ran 5 miles or anything. I just it's 5 o'clock and I felt like a beer and felt like doing a show. So here we are, and I got funny sun hitting my face. That's fun. High production values here. Yep, that's a good one. I would keep an eye out for that. If you like beer that tastes like beer, check out this one right here. This is smells like a safety meeting from Dark Horse Brewing out of Marshall, Michigan. Easily available. They have good distribution. You can find them at any Meijer or probably anything like that. Yeah, that's tasty. That's tasty. I have missed that. Makes me want to get some Crooked Tree. And now they don't. Crooked Tree is a perennial. It's out all the time, which actually is not the definition of perennial. Apologies. But also the double Crooked Tree, that's pretty limited. I would love to see that one again. Hey, Dark Horse people, put that out again. I would like to get my hands on a little bit of that. Not too much. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Take care. Cheers.